Today, everyone, we're reading Monster Ops. Well, here we go. Another major catastrophe in my disaster of a military career. Though what I did, I really expect. The only reason I even graduated from West Point was because of my thrice decorated brigadier general father pulled strings for me. God, that's one hell of a position. I can still hear Mama in my ear. You may not be book smart, but you will be great in the field. Ha! Thank God she can't see me now. Still, all of the things that could have messed me up, it had to be this. Sorry, Mama, but seriously, God damn it. It all went down 3 weeks ago. We were deployed to smoke out a group of domestic terrorists in a forest compound. It was a mission I could sink my teeth into. I was fixing to prove I was just as useful to the outfit as my high-ranked dad. With them outnumbered and outgunned, we rolled out their position and set to taking them all out. I was sat to the corner of one of the possible escape routes to make sure none of them could hightail it out and start a new terror cell. Things got quieter than a mouse. Pissing on cotton wasn't a soul in sight. I was alone. Sometimes I wonder they were just positioning here where I couldn't get hurt, that my CO didn't want to risk getting his ears pinned back if he got a brigadier's son killed. But that was probably just my insecurities fixing to wreck me like usual. Then I heard it. It was a growl and some rustling in the trees. I reckon it was some kind of wild animal. There wasn't any large predators in the region. Still, I had to investigate. I readied my gun and followed the sound. Shit. I fell back flat on my ass when I saw him, or whatever it was, humanoid, but definitely sentient. Maybe I should have blasted it, or at least I had the proof. Come on. Alright, there we go. In the end, I just had to go on, just my word to go on. And of course, once I reported the sightings to my CO, I was suspended from duty and sent to a military doctor. Being the idiot I am, I doubled down, tried to explain I wasn't crazy. I saw what I saw, clear as day. I kept saying over and over. Why couldn't I have just let it go? Was telling them about the monster were worth my whole career? Avery? How long for Dad gets word? He has to bail me out of yet again. My doom and gloom was cut short when I noticed a well-dressed officer coming into the back from the corner of my eye. I raised a hand in salute and talked loudly enough so he could hear me over the engines. Lieutenant First Class Avery Tide, reporting for duty, sir. At ease, Lieutenant. Commander Ross Jackson. And as far as you're concerned, your new CO. I've pulled your file. It says you had some anomalous thing to report after your last field deployment. Care to elaborate? I'd reckon as much. They were going to throw me into an asylum because of what I told the doc. Damn it. I knew I should have kept my big mouth shut. Downplay! I had to act. Say something. I took on my sweetest country boy persona and threw a Hail Mary. Tell the truth, sir, I think I might have just been in shock in the heat of combat. Thinking back on it with a clearer head, I reckon there could be a whole mess of things, normal things, to explain what I saw. Someone in a costume, a wild animal, maybe a bear. Not that I'd get thinking about it. It could even be a... I don't have time for this horseshit, Lieutenant. We were just called out. I need to listen to me very carefully. I wanted to speak up. I wanted to keep blathering excuses or beg for another chance, but the commander had a presence bigger than Dallas, and all I could muster was a nod. The monster you saw was real, sir. You heard me. The military did its best to control the initial outbreak, but they're on the loose and somehow multiplying. I've got top secret orders to operate a task force whose sole purpose it is to hunt down and contain these creatures. Task Force 171, but the boys call it Monster Ops. You'll get to meet them soon. You'll work on a strict need-to-know basis. You'll answer only to me, and I'll answer to the President. No one else hears about this, no military, and especially no civilians. Am I joining this unit, sir? Congratulations, Lieutenant, you catch on fast. He mentioned with his head towards a man in front who stepped forward and gave him an ID card. Here's your clearance. You'll claim to be CIA on any military personnel outside the task force. Anything beyond that is none of our business. It's none of their business. Landing in 5. Welcome to Site 6, Lieutenant. This will be your new home. I can't believe it, from the depths of hell to the greatest mission of my life. Well, butter my biscuit. Was this going to be my big break after all my bad luck? Was just enlisted into special forces. I won't lay down, sir. You don't have a choice anymore, Lieutenant. Not even your father is going to know about these orders. Your days of getting bailed out are over. So he knows I'm a screw-up, but I'm not going to let that get me down. It means I have to work harder than ever to prove myself and what else new. And revved at base. Whatever was going on here was wrapped up tighter than a tick on a hound dog. God, God, I understand everything that's written here. It was some serious Area 51 type of stuff. Out of the middle of nowhere. They hadn't told me where we were, but I reckon it was the Southwest Desert. New Mexico, Nevada, or Nevada maybe. Before I could get my head screwed on straight, a couple of fellows approached me. Well, at least one of them was a man. Ooh, what in the heck? We got a monster on our team? I didn't see hide nor hair of the commander yet, so I reckon it was okay to speak my mind. Belaski. Greetings, mortal. My name is Belaski. I am indeed part of your team. I admit he looked damned ornery at first, but he sounded so friendly, my fear melted away. Wait, you look familiar. Where have I seen Belaski before? I had so many questions, but I knew enough to save them for now. The monster had me floored. I didn't notice the fellow in the mask at first. When I did, saw his eyes burning holes into me. I'm Avery Tide. They just call me Tide in the field. Nice to meet you guys. I read your file. His stern voice whipped the smile right off my face. I could tell he was a bit older than me, for sure, outranked me, and wasn't messing around. They're fucking you over, and it's okay to walk. It'll probably save your life. My mouth went dry. What? They stuck you here because you saw one of the top secret monsters. It's in their way to keep it classified, to keep an eye on you. But this unit, it's life or death on every mission. Last week, we lost a really good soldier, top of the line, and they still got him. There was nothing we could do. It was a terrible loss indeed. My heart started jackrabbiting. Hard truth. You're not cut out for this. Half the guys we consider the best of the best aren't cut out for it, and you know you ain't one of them. That just about knocked the wind out of me, mostly because it was true. But I had heart, drive, initiative. Didn't that count for something? No, it does not. Take the discharge. What, discharge? I can't take a discharge. You can. Mental health issues. They can't have a liability in the field. They'll cut you loose. I don't got no mental health issues, and this assignment proves it. I'm not saying you're crazy. I'm saying it's an out. Take it. No, you don't understand. I can't leave the military. Because you don't want to disappoint your dad. He'll be more upset when he's sobbing over your casket. That's enough, Captain. Lieutenant Tide is part of the team now. Discharge isn't on the table for him. Grisham ain't even cold yet, Commander. And we still have a job to do. It's more urgent now than ever. You need another man. You will accept him as one of your own. Do I make myself clear? Yes, sir. I believe you will be a good addition to the team, Tide. You are a graduate of the fabled West Point, correct? Yeah. And you're certainly one of the best of the best. Get them settled in. Briefing for your next mission tomorrow at 07 in the lab. The lab? Looks like there's no help in it. Come on, I'll show you where we bunk. Do not become discouraged, Tide. You can call our teammate Wrath or Wraith. He is on edge due to our disastrous last mission, but he will warm up to you soon. Right, thanks. This is it. 4-man pod changed to 3 to fit a bed for Basquale. You'll take Girisham's old bunk over there. This can't be easy for you, I'm sorry. Not your monkey, not your circus, Commander. Commander says you're in, so you're in. We'll just have to watch out for each other. With that huge monster beside him, before I didn't notice how big this guy was. He's built like a brick house and towers over me. He seems like the type who never cracks a smile, and that gets me to wondering what he's been through and what's the mask all about. Did something happen to his face? I may have stumbled my way into this unit, but these fellows are the real deal. Probably seen Special Forces a long time, and I reckon I'm lucky to have him watching my back. If I could get him to warm up to me, I'd be golden. Of course, I got to prove my actual worth a damn to him first. I'm good under pressure. If Fast with a gun, give me a chance. That's not what it's about. I don't matter. Just stay alive. I will print you, Tide. I may have failed Grisham, but I won't allow it to happen a second time. You didn't fail anyone. It was out of your hands. I gave it a moment for the tension to die down. Thanks, Basquil. I know we're all need-to-know bases, but how is it you're on our side? Aren't we killing your kind? I am not one of the monsters who mutated from the failed experiment. I'm an ancient being whom the military was aware for over a century. Failed experiment? Damn, no wonder it's top secret. The monsters you fight are not my kin, and those who wantfully kill mortals deserve to die. Gee, I feel like my world's gone upside down. How many other beings are out there? Just worry about the mutated ones. Former humans started with a few unlucky fuckers, but now it's just some whack jobs taking advantage of the power-up. Indeed, we do not know how the mutants are spreading or who is controlling their ranks. Sadly, they have chosen to use their augmentations to serve the government, to subvert the government. Let's get some rest, Lieutenant. Briefing at 0700 probably means we're deploying tomorrow. So soon? Such is the norm on this team, but you are among good company, Captain. Hideyoshi Wraith truly is one of the best, and I have a number of useful powers. Thanks, I see why the military took you in and gave you their trust. You sure know how to make a fellow feel welcome. You are indeed quite welcome here, Tide. In time, you will get the same impression from our captain. Do you have a rank? Specialist. A very special specialist. I'll say. I seriously like this big old monster and the cherry on top. I outrank him by a mile. Velasque heads for the door. Not turning in? He flashes a smile slicker than a greased pig and leaves. Weird. Monster libido. What? He's going to get laid. You're kidding with a human? Yeah. Velasque, you horny toad. Lieutenant. The purplish down glow in the room told me it was morning already. I wasn't used to being woken up so gently. I kind of liked it. Then I remember where I was, everything that had happened, and the one who was nudging me awake. He was in his boxers, but still had the mask on. The man was a heap of muscles with abs that could crack a walnut. I'll say. I tried not to stare, but I completely agree. I'd figure you were a monster if I didn't know better. What's that? Great, not 10 seconds into the day and I've already stuck my foot in my mouth. How'd you get so built? Oh, I got sick of losing fights when I was a teen. South LA projects couldn't look vulnerable. Just kept it up since then. Nice. I get to know him a little better. Wait, LA projects? Shoot, no wonder he seems so hardened. That's a rough area. I'm from Texas myself. I know, I read your file. Of course he did. And now I had to wonder if he resented me. I was military royalty, West Point, son of a brigadier general. He probably joined up to escape poverty. In order to prove myself to this man, it was the last thing I do. Take my advice. Get up now, grab breakfast before the briefing. It may be the only chance you get to eat today. And we need to stay sharp. Right, I'm up. That should have been the end of it, but he lingered a bit, looked me up and down, thinking maybe sizing me up, or maybe noticing my abs weren't too shabby either. Let's get everything right. You're my responsibility for better or worse. I'll make it better for you, Captain. I wish I could have seen his face. Then I didn't know if I was bugging him or if he was just agreeing. But I didn't have time to let my insecurities run wild. Before we knew it, we had to our briefing. We went to the lab where Commander Jackson was waiting for us along with a young scientist. This didn't look like no regular briefing room, that's for dang sure. Wrath seemed tense. That might be his usual. Velasquez was sneaking glances around at the machines. I wonder if the monsters in the tanks upset him. We need to report on a mission ASAP. I take it you're all prepared for action? Something easy and routine to get the new guy acclimated, hopefully? There's no such thing as easy and routine in this unit. I know he's just looking out for me, but I was starting to bristle at his lack of confidence. I'm itching for a chance to show what I got. What are these? He gestured to a metal rolling table with 2 syringes on it, both filled to the brim with pink fluid. I'm Dr. Denise Hansen. I've been assigned to your unit to assist in studying the monsters. Major Hudson is not only a trained biologist, but outranks all of you. You'll show her the respect she's due. The injections are a conditioning formula developed by our in-house team of top-shelf scientists. It's meant to give you an added layer of protection against the monsters. Didn't the last rounds of injections like this led to the whole monster outbreak in the first place? Lord have mercy. You need all the help you can get. This isn't your typical contain and secure mission. These monsters are among themselves, and we don't know what that means yet. There could be any number of new variables at play. Major, we've been tracking this pair for a while, and they seem to be your run-of-the-mill Class D types, until they started to display previously unseen powers. Monsters are evolving, adapting to their surroundings by changing their bodily structures to become better predators. But that doesn't mean we can't fight back. She clicks a remote to fire up a video. On a nearby screen, it shows grainy, low-res scenes straight out of a horror movie. An abandoned warehouse with a pair of squirming cocoons big as house trucks. And I just about reckon the floor is about to come up and smack me in the face. I had to have gone wider than a cotton field, but Velasquez and Wrath didn't even flinch. This is what counts as normal here? The monsters can't evolve without going through metamorphosis, and that's when they are at their most vulnerable. That's why we need you out there tonight. Your targets are inside those cocoons and could be about to pop. They're hiding out in an abandoned cannery. Swampland took over the area years ago. It's in the depths of Louisiana, hidden and hard to navigate. You have 2 missions here. Your main priority is dispatching the monsters. Besides the usual protocol of keeping them out of the public eye, there's no telling what kind of chaos they will unleash if we don't allow them to self-augment. Secondary objective. Collect samples for Doc Hansen. This could be fluids, tissues, cocoon material, anything you can find. We need as much info as we can to get on this new breed. How long do we have until they burst out of those things? We have a rough idea of the time it takes to complete the process, but without exactly knowing when they begin, I wouldn't have a reliable estimate. You wouldn't want to make things too easy for you, right? This ain't no laughing matter. Well, the mission is just finding these cocoons and taking them out. That doesn't sound all that dangerous. Wow, you're as green as they come, huh? Well, yeah, I just got here. The monsters would never leave themselves that vulnerable. They've got human mercs guarding them while they're transforming. They work with humans? All the time. Half the dumbasses are trying to turn themselves into monsters themselves. Good lord. It's likely these guards are just mercenaries, but we can't rule out mind control being one of the monster's new abilities. Mind control? Did I just say mind control? That's right. I need those samples. A brain or two would be great. How are we to deal with the guards, considering they may be innocent under the enemy's control? We will consider them armed hostiles and shoot to kill on sight. Expect heavy resistance and keep an eye out for traps. Until they've laid out a minefield around the cannery. You'll be equipped with sensors to aid in navigation. This is too difficult a mission for a new team member to start out with. Alaska and I can handle it. This isn't my first mission like this. I've taken out terror cells. You haven't taken out any terrors like this, Lieutenant. Fair enough. Monster or terrorist, they all go down with a few bullets. We lost Gershom last week, Commander. Some mission specs, minus the cocoons. You're sending him to his grave. You are out of line, Captain. Take it down a notch. Yes, sir. Wrath's concern is valid. The commander's voice becomes softer. You take it down a notch too, B. Yes, sir. You need another operative. This mission calls for a 3-man team, and Tide's got enough field experience for the job. You will accept him as part of your unit and treat him as if you were any other operator. The mission, your lives, depend on it. Affirmative. And you better, Dan, be ready to prove your cred. I gulped, nodded, like a heap of pressure just kept on my toes. Then it settled. Helo's already on its way. Dr. Harrison, you give the injections, then I expect you geared up and waiting in the hangar. Sir, yes, sir. We stood in attention, saluted Commander Jackson as he left the room. Attention lightened, but only by a sliver. Who has this tested on, Major? Or are we about to be it? We're very confident in the effects of the serum. You'll be thanking me later. That answers that. He offered his arm with a disgruntled huff as the doctor procured a syringe for him. Just what are the effects going to be? You should notice a reaction of the monsters you encounter, such as telling you could cause you to overestimate the results or falsely report on what you experience. It's tampering with the test results. Wrath shot me a look of disbelief. He was right. We were being made test subjects. Wrath stormed off after getting his injection, but Vasquez stayed behind. You're up, Lieutenant. Perhaps it's best to see how the serum works on Wrath before administering it to another. She jabs the needle in my arm without even an alcohol swab. Too late. Damn it, that felt all kinds of wrong. I headed out the door, but paused with my hand on the handle. So, hey, Doc, are there any side effects we should know about? Not to our knowledge, but do file a report if you feel any. Oh, great. Well, lab rats hunting other lab rats. Great. I figured the ride was the chance to get to know my teammates. I planted myself next to Wrath and cleared my throat. I reckon you got the advantage on me reading my file and all that. I don't hardly know anything about you in return. Did you join up right after high school? More or less. Moral waiver program. What? He's a criminal? I guess it wasn't too bad, but if they let him on a waiver, but still. Better not ask what he did. You want to ask, huh? If I'm being honest, yeah, but I decided to keep my yap shut for once. Good instinct. Nice. Grew up in the projects, broke the law, and made it all the way to captain in special forces. I know it's stupid, but I'm starting to get one heck of a man crush on this guy. Agreed. This fellow is a bona fide legend. Of course, we had to get dropped pretty far from the cannery. We probably didn't have any anti-air weapons, but Jackson wasn't taking no chances. I was feeling pretty good at the start, with as tough as nails Wrath looking like a badass in front and a real-life monster at my side. It didn't take long for it to turn into a slog, though. We were going at a snail's pace to watch out for mines and the mud in our boots with every step. Ugh, these bugs are gonna eat me alive. I'll remember that. They seem uninterested in me. They want blood, not whatever's going on in... Not whatever you've got going on in there. You have seen me bleed, Hishidori. My blood runs as red as yours. Must taste bad then. You have a taste of me to confirm that later. There seems to be a little something unsaid there. I figured I was imagining it, but afterwards what Wrath told me about Blaske. They're both smiling, and I couldn't help cracking one myself at goofing. Shit. I froze like a rattler spotting a mongoose. As soon as I felt the dread click, I looked away from the sensor just for a second, and that's all it took. Don't tell me. Tears started pushing at the back of my eyes. I fucked up already. So much for throwing myself, so much for her. Wrath reached for his comms. Don't please. What in the heck was I saying? How could I expect him to keep a fuck up this huge under wraps? No helping it, Lieutenant. We need to get the bomb squad out here. If you can't stomach it on your card, it'll go on mine. I got too comfortable and distracted you from the objective, just the sort of shit to get us killed. I'll take the fall for it. Do not make the call, Hideyoshi. You know I can disarm it. Don't you fucking touch it. I know you took A class. This is a live fucking mine. We cannot abort so critical a mission. Who says we're aborting? He stays put. You and I finish the objective. Marks will be taken out before the bomb squad shows. So I'd be a sitting duck out here for hours. One man on patrol could take me out easily, but I guess it's what I deserve. This is no time for such risks, Hideyoshi. The longer he stays on the mine, the greater the risk that he'll detonate it. Practically, if he particularly if he's discovered. I refuse to lose another mortal partner. You could both end up dead. You're not messing with a live mine. We are sure to be outnumbered. Wouldn't it be worse for all of us to die here? You and I could take a couple dozen mercs. We've done it before. What about the one or two who might flee and run right into him? The commander was clear. This is not a two-man mission. Fuck. I can smell his terror in the air. Hear his racing heart. You cannot expect me to leave him here. Damn it. We only have two options. Either we abort or you allow me to defuse it. We can't fucking abort. We're too close to the target for an extraction. Then we are in agreement. They haven't even done the memorial for yet. Captain, are you ordering me not to deactivate the mine? The two stared each other down. A battle of wills, done all quiet-like until wrath turned away. You will not lose me. Do what you're going to do. You will not stand clear. Another silent stare down, albeit much shorter. As you wish, Captain. This time around, Wrath would come out on top, but Velasquez planted himself like a live oak, so his massive body would shield him from the blast as much as possible. He dug his claws into the mine, ripping open the metal shell like tinfoil to expose the inner mechanism. I can only hold my breath and say a prayer, not just for my sake, but for his too. Another click. I was just about to drop through my stomach. It is safe now. You may remove your foot from the explosive device. I felt like Atlas letting go of the fucking earth, but it was a serious wake-up call. Jesus, thank you. I'm so sorry. Damn it. We need to keep moving. Stay focused and stay alive. He, for sure, didn't want to talk about it. We had to get on with the mission. I'll follow your lead. I won't let this happen again. The bomb squad was not notified. There's no need to mention this on any of our reports. Let's see how the rest of this pans out. Could save his life if Jackson changes his mind on the discharge. I already said I can't. Just focus. Stay alive, and you can decide how much you want to keep playing hero on the ride back. You haven't even seen the monsters yet. Wrath didn't say another word and just started making his way forward again. Velasquez motioned to me, and we could continue treading through the swamp until we reached the old cannery. What is the best angle of attack? Hideyoshi. Let me get the map of this shithole. He was still pissed, and I couldn't blame him. I had to put any obsessing aside for now, but I'd start to let through creeps in my life as a civilian. I didn't want to be a hero, and it wasn't just about my dad. It was losing my future, my way of life, and years of hard work climbing the ranks. I didn't want to think of, I couldn't go starting my life all over again. The army is my home? The X back here is a decent entry point, assuming we can divert attention away from it. We should not place Tide in the front where the heaviest fire will be. Affirmative. You sneak around the back and wait. Velasquez and I will make some noise. Draw their fire. We'll make it look like there's more than two guys out in front. These guys are regular old mercs. They won't be the tactical cohesion to keep their asses covered once they're all rushed into the front. You infiltrate from behind and take them out. Got it? An excellent plan. We shall be utilizing our enemy's weaknesses to our advantage, coupled with the element of surprise. We shall arise victorious today. Keep it simple, stay alive. No fuck-ups, Tide. Velasquez won't be there to save you this time. I won't let you down again, sir. Nods. I reckon he's starting to see how much stock I put to his opinion of me. For a second there, he looked like he was thinking about a future where I stand on the team. I could only hope he was starting to be okay with that. The two men got themselves into position, and I got into mine. Then the firefight broke out. With all the ruckus going on, I snuck behind the spot Wrath pointed out. Under attack. Getting down over here, we need more firepower. Everybody get to the front. Reinforce the flanks. Just like he said, they were flooding the front to take on what seemed like the whole damn army. Nobody noticed me sneaking around the back. The instructions at West Point would have flunked those guys. When I got there, I noticed an open vent leading straight into the building. Crawled through, but it put me above the mercs and probably in less time than Wrath's entry would point to. It's a risk, but I couldn't help. Keep firing. We'll have some guys flank them soon. Turning out, I had to make a choice. We're sticking to the plan. Nah, I got to stick to the plan. Screwing around almost cost me my life today already once. I had Velasquez to thank for keeping both my legs. Two of them were smart enough to do their part right. I needed to be smart enough to do mine. Come in, come in. Shit, I think they got him. No way, the radio's probably malfunctioning again. Just keep shooting. I made it into the building, quiet as a mouse. Everything was going according to plan. Counterattack had failed, and they didn't have a clue I was right behind them. Best not to play it too fancy, to try to drop them all with my gun. Here comes the fireworks. Grenade! Shit! The grenade took out the whole room easy peasy. With the hostiles outside already neutralized, I waited for Wrath and Velasquez to catch up to me. A plan well executed. Our foes had been felled, and we've suffered no casualties. Good work. His praise is like manna from heaven? You too. Good work seems an understatement. He has exceeded expectations. Job's not finished yet. I noticed something shambling in the distance, a shadow against a bush of rusty barrels. It was racing out. Get down! I charged forward and tackled Wrath to the ground just as all hell of bullets flew past us. Velasquez returned fire and quickly dispatched the last hidden mercenary before mounting us that the coast was clear. Crashing into Wrath was like hitting a brick wall. The only reason he went down was because he gave away from me. Nothing but muscle and sinew, this guy. It takes a moment for me to get off him, but I notice he doesn't rush me. No shoving me away, just those eyes burning into me like usual. Did he just sniff me through his mask? Maybe I got a little sweaty in the swamp, but I showered this morning, same as always. Though, it didn't really seem to be a stink. Seems like he was taking advantage of an opportunity. We got up. Wrath scanned for more hostiles. I believe now he has earned his place. I owe you for that one, Lieutenant. And just like that, I'm bouncing around like a June bug on a hot skillet. Dang it all, being around this righteous badass is going to throw me off my game. Something fierce. Excellent. Now that our relationship bonds have been strengthened, through this exercise we may continue the mission with greater coherence. What way? Down the hall, into the right, should be where the cocoons are hatching. Velasquez's enhanced senses of smell can detect any sudden changes from them in case they decide to pop. Very well, I shall take point. Follow me and keep your arguments ready for combat. Going a few steps before Velasquez stopped dead in his tracks, dropping to one knee. B. He stumbled a few steps back, seemed to regain his composure. There is something in the air. He was still having some trouble speaking, choking between words. Good thing we nailed the guard already, or we would have had a heap of trouble. Alpha, come in. We read you, Bravo. Velasquez is down. Something in the air is affecting him. His sensor reads a strange concentration of anomalous pheromones. Any effect on you or Tide? Negative. There could be fatal to Velasquez if he gets any closer. We need a monster-sized gas mask ASAP. Negative on waiting for a drop. This mission is time-sensitive. Velasquez will stand guard outside to watch enemy reinforcements. You and Tide proceed to eliminate the targets. Roger that. Wrath and I gave each other a nod. The team side things were feeling more and more natural. Velasquez was right about the relationship bonds thing, and I was loving it. Go forth, complete the mission. It is the perfect opportunity to cement your bonds as battle brothers. This corny monster is growing on me. I shall make sure no adversaries interfere with your task. Me and my battle brother move forward as one with our guns at the ready. Dear God, look at those things. They're even bigger in person than the video feed Hansen showed us, and way creepier too. Let's not waste time. Take them out. They emptied our magazines into the cocoons, but they didn't make a scratch. The bullets just bounced stuff all over the place. That did jack squat. Got any grenades left? Yes, sir. I tossed the grenade. We both stood back, bracing for impact. Shit. Nothing. The damn things were like armored tanks. Maybe another? No, that didn't make a dent. If we blew more explosives, we'll bring the roof down. This place is already falling apart as it is. Now what? Alpha, come in. Bullets ineffective on targets. Some with explosives requesting instructions. Same with explosives. Requesting instructions. Alpha, do you copy? Damn it, the comms are fucking jammed. By who? We took out everyone. And you're already hotter than a goat's butt and a pepper patch. And now the cocoons were wriggling like crazy. Whatever was inside was fixing to burst out. And for some reason, I suddenly had a what incarnation? Wrath was going through the same thing. Ain't no way this is a coincidence. I didn't have time to think. The cocoons were getting ready to burst. We need to get out of here. Hold your position, Lieutenant. We have orders. We'll shoot the fuckers down as they come out. They'll probably still be weak. Wrath got ready to blast them. I took my position beside him. I'll take right, you take left. Copy. The movements were growing violently, and we could make out sharp shapes of the things inside. Humanoid like Velasquez and bigger than a Texas steer. Here they come. Yeah. Wrath. A huge strap of cocoon shot out fast as lightning, knocking Wrath to the floor. I was bolted towards him before I could think. The monsters weren't out of my mind, just my downed teammate. Ugh. I got plowed off my feet before I could get to him. I let myself get blindsided, and it hit me like a freight train. I was flung backwards straight into the stacks of crates. Ugh. I struggled to get to my feet, but the wind was knocked out of me. The creatures got on top of me, started stripping carefully not to scratch me or hurt me. Seems like letting it happen was my best bet. He was down with my submission. Alright, let's darken so we can see the words. That's it, don't fight the feeling. He pulled out of me and got up while I watched him with my eyes half opened and tried to drum up a plan. I was in no kind of state to defend myself, I just had to wait for an opening. I came as soon as I could. I needed to find breathing gear. I couldn't get close enough without it. The air seems clear enough for me to go without a gas mask now. Thank God Almighty, Blaskaway to the rescue. He helped me to my feet like I was made of spun sugar and gossamer. Then he handed me my clothes. Shit, Basket, you made it. After scavenging around, I found a gas mask on one of the fallen adversaries. It was rather ill-fitting, but it allowed me to rescue you. I just wish I could have prevented. It's okay, we're alive. We're whole. Went to where Wrath was on the floor, pulled him apart way into his lap. Wrath let him fuss over him as though he was being cradled in the monster's arms. It was an everyday occurrence. I'm sorry, my friend. Ugh, why you fucking saved us, didn't you? Let's get these fucking samples out of here. What do we put in the report? I take it you're not referring about the mine anymore? No. Let's get a deep, long breath. Don't keep trying to discharge after what we just went through. I should be allowed to stay on the team. Affirmative. Looked at him, but he didn't meet my eyes. You paid your dues. If you're still got the metal to stay on after that, I won't get in your way. A leave of absence for you both would be advisable after such a traumatic experience. Did I want that? The answer wasn't obvious. Yes, part of me was actually proud of accomplishing the mission after all that. It wasn't traumatic. It was a strategic move, at least on my part. Yeah, on my part too. I was looking for a chance to snag my weapon, and that meant playing possum for affirmative. I'm glad we're on the same page. Something was up. This wasn't right. What do you think? The injections has to be. Not necessarily the monsters suggested that you fell prey to their powers. Perhaps they evolved the ability to affect you like this? But if it was the injections, you think they would wanted that to happen to us? Surely not. What do they gain from such an outcome? Let's go into the report, as it must. The thing with the mine never happened. Thank you, Wrath. And maybe that just made this whole fiasco worth it. He reached over to give me my arm squeeze, just a friendly gesture done In a fraction of a second, but it meant everything to me. Our operatives returned and went straight to quarters. I just got the commander's report. I take it was the reason for the injections. Ooh, an unknown. Right, you are a commander. What was the point of that? If you're going to do this, you might as well just kill Tide and get it over with. Why put my men through that? Where's the fun in killing him? Avery Tide deserves a far worse punishment than death. He must be tortured and humiliated for as long as possible. He had nothing to do with what you suffered. Humiliating him hurts the Brigadier, and since I can't get to the latter, I'll take my revenge on Daddy's special little boy. Besides, that was fantastic. I rewatched the footage for hours. Every squirm and scream, and the other one, Wrath. He's also on my radar now. So proud, so stern, the textbook tough as nail soldier trained to military perfection. It was a delight to break them both. You may consider me officially obsessed with them. I don't like the sound of that. As you should, as long as I'm having fun playing with them. I won't be killing them. Thank God for small favors then, but don't take it too far. Every man has his limits. Aye, Commander. You've gotten quite feisty. I'll take it as far as I want. I'm sure you will, but as long as you give me the opportunity for these conversations, I'm going to do my best to make sure you see reason. You are indeed a caring and dutiful commander. Do I have any further orders? Not for now. Give me time to cook up something terrible for them both. Yes, master. Am I dismissed? Log out, close the screen, then you may awaken from your trance. Affirmative. Jackson out. Damn it. Sleepwalking again. Why is my computer on? Ugh. And that headache's back. What the hell's wrong with me?